Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Studio 44. We are showcasing 4 stadiums today, created by 3 amazing creator and some fat guy who decided to create a YouTube channel 2 years ago. But you will have to decide, well, maybe not all of you, just the 13 judges that have been selected to be on the committee to decide the 2024 Stadium of the Year contest winner. Will have to decide which stadium of these 4 moves on to round 1. There can only be one. We will decide that by each judge giving each stadium a number. 4 being their favorite, best stadium. 3 their second favorite stadium. 2 and then 1 being their worst. I'll get their results via email at studio44ps@gmail.com. I'll tally up the results. The creator or the stadium with the most points moves on to round 2. Who's in group 5? Who are those 3 creators? And that one overweight, but I think handsome, at least, right? And damn it, if that fat guy can't move, too, right? I mean, I think we've all seen that now, too. Whoops, that's group 5. We want group 6. Have I been saying 5 this whole time? What a dick. There they are. Concourse Park from Jason, 43950. Skyview Park from Peebs, 212344. Alpha Park version 3.5 from RC, 4625. And the Ballpark in Anaheim from Sandman Dan. How did I get stuck with fucking Sandman Dan again? Did I do it, Scotty? Was I saying 5 the whole time when I met 6? Anyway, this is group 6, judges. You have to give one of these stadiums a 4, 1 a 3, 1 a 2, 1 a 1, and then send your results to me and see who moves on. Let's take a look at each stadium individually. Starting things off with the creator who was originally squaring off against me, Jason, 43950, with Concourse Park. I was not happy about going up against this stadium. I love right field with all of the laser ribbon on top of and built into the scoreboard, out-of-town scoreboard, smack dab in the middle of it, with some standing room only areas where you can look through the windows, and then they have the entrance to get in under there right here, and then you sneak in there and it looks so cool. And then I believe these are the solar panels. See, wouldn't it be nice to just get a beam that looks just like that but bigger? A bunch of different sizes. Give us some different sized beams, for crying out loud. I think it gives that whole thing such a good look when you can just blend that in there. Then, of course, hiding the solar panels within the concourse itself. Brilliant idea and execution, Jason. Then underneath, you got all these kiosks with napkins and such, and tables, and people are in line to get their food. Then right outside of that deck is another deck, this one uncovered, although you do have some people hanging out in here. Right, they're jamming in there probably. Signs and more signs and team stores and scoreboards, and then above that, a nice brick concourse. Umbrella seating, fantastic. Texas Rangers Hill with another standing room only area back here, and custom bleachers where you have entrances or exits, the tunnels right through, and then custom stairs made right in the middle of everything. Fantastic. Nice deck on top of that. And then I always loved how he pulled this look off, creating its own little luxury seating section out there and left. And then grass on top is always phenomenal. Green on top of this one. Signs and lights. Excellent corner with a little pinwheel right at the foul pole. So good. 2-decker, another Pittsburgh look. I love that corner. Amazing. Some retired numbers. Nice work, Jason. Not happy about facing off with you again. Beautiful, beautiful work in there. And then there's the museum built in with lights on top of that. And you got the monster claw dude. Is that a monster? Is his hands down like this? It's got a lot of fingers. Oh no, I guess it's only 5. It's just weird how there's 2 like separated on the other side. That's what made me think there was more than 5. Because there's 3 on one side, I guess only 2 on the other. So you think there'd be just the thumb on the other side. What do I know? Great shot from the sky. Flip the lights on. And we have just a gorgeous, gorgeous ballpark. From Jason. 9350, right? Are those the numbers? Yep, there you are. Oh, 43,950, I'm sorry. Fantastic. Concourse Park from Jason. 43,950. Definitely one of the better stadiums of the year. Perfectly capable of taking the crown of 2024 Stadium of the Year. Here we go, folks. Skyview Park from Peebs 212344. The proprietor of Studio 44 with Phil Sherman. That be me. Taking a look at the view high above the stadium. The goal here was to create that big wall of hotel balcony rooms. I knew once I learned how to close off this building right, I wanted to put hotels right along the home run fence that you could hit these line shots into. And then I came up with the idea of making it basically built into the road or the ground, and the stadium goes underneath. I'm sorry, not the stadium. The hotel goes underneath the road and pops up across the street. And then I'm probably too big city or too many big towers in my stadiums. I need to use some of the smaller buildings in the future, but. Yeah, the building curves back, and I kind of accidentally created this balcony up here, but I like how it looked, so I kept it. And then there's another deck here. Another goal for this stadium was to have an anomaly with the decks that built off it. And then I borrowed this idea from a bunch of people, but mainly Sewell's Pete Rose Park. I like the idea of people underneath. And I mean, we just saw it in Jason's park, too. He has a very similar concept. But yeah, I like all the people hanging out on their balconies. I like the quirky. This is kind of Frontier Field here in my hometown feel and look. It has something similar out there. Luxury seats along the road up here. Standing room only on top. Sandman Dan style greenery in the middle of my concourse here. Fountains on either side of the anomaly. Distances labeled, seeing as how we don't have our own numbers. I borrowed Pfizer's idea of using letters to fix some of the posts. Never crazy about that look, but that's kind of the best fence to use. So I went with that. Luxury seating in the corner, custom luxury seating down here. 414 obviously is your distance. Did the blue wall to keep people in safe over there. The original idea I ended up using for Harrison and Company field, where I was going to use that Harrison and Company building and try to hit balls on the roof of that one, but it wasn't working out the way I had it laid out. So I turned this into a road to the parking garage, which for some reason is apparently part of the stadium. But hey, that'd be kind of cool, right? Get out of the parking garage and boom, you're right in the concourse of the stadium. And then this is why I named the stadium Skyview Tower, because this is pretty much connected to the stadium. And then the other hotel over here, obviously, as well. Cleveland Guardian scoreboard on top. I was really happy with how this walkway turned out with the scoreboard walks and the sections of stairs in between. Yeah, this is one of my favorite stadiums I've ever made. I had no problem with choosing this one. I think even if Fountains Field was voted in, I would have picked this one over Fountains Field. But we'll zoom back, turn the lights on real quick. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. I used the giant slabs out here. Nothing fancy, but I wanted the stadium to get that buried in look, especially since the road was coming through across the street. And I just threw some parking lots in there. Nothing major, like I said. I tried to save my memory for inside the stadium, like a lot of us seem to do. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the stadium. I don't know if it's Stadium of the Year quality, but it's the best I got. So yeah, Alpha Park version 3.5 RC4625. This is the stadium with the awesome concourse out in right field between the stadium and the river or ocean or lake, whatever happens to be out there. I love the curves with the decoration all the way throughout that stadium. This corner is fantastic with the bending of the splashes, the number of splash shots. People are hanging out on the different layers, and there's people in the Hall of Fame section. You got the home run deck kind of built right into the rest of the concourse. Looks amazing. That's faced off with the arches. Outstanding from RC4625. And of course, in that body of water, we have canoes. We have canoes. Oh, Lent. You're not drinking for Lent? Is that what's going on? That started what, yesterday? Custom building in center field with a bunch of things blended in together, and he's got another funky pointy deck coming off that, labeled Alpha Park. Oh, is this? I never noticed this before. He created like a crescent moon. Flags all over the place. Sigma Stadium in the background through a bunch of futuristic seats into the football stadium. Creates an excellent view from behind home plate once it's lit up. I'll definitely show you that in just a moment. Nods to Stadium Center out there. Our good buddy Sewell 21. And I think this is Ryan, right? Who, like, measures the distance on the field itself to get an accurate bullpen when he custom creates them. I think he does one for every stadium. Waterfall in the corner, and then surely not standard around behind with low light towers and futuristic seating blended in with field level seating. Very, very fun. Sandcrawler building in the background. Oh wow, 3 decks on top of the field level deck. All right, I'll show my normal high view with the lights on. Oh, I like the walkway too. This skyway out here, very fun. Take you out, give you a view of the ocean and the stadium itself. Oh, that's right. Okay, you're a couple hours behind me, huh? Schmitty says he likes his Baba milk teas too much. Never heard of those. Oh, not Lent. I'm sorry. Okay. That's a nice shot right there. Beautiful aerial shot. So is that? Yeah, that's that other futuristic prop. Okay. And then there's the stadium in the background, well lit. So let's creep down here and say you hit a fly ball to left or a home run to left. Boom, that's the view you got. That looks really cool. The different layers of the neon blue. Excellent. Can you see it out of the corner of your eye if you're looking straight ahead? No, I guess not really. But that's a nice view too. Excellent job from Ryan or RC4625 with Alpha Park version 3.5. Mr. Sandman Dan gives us the ballpark in Anaheim And I remember when I first showed the stadium, I fell in love with center field, but we'll get there in a minute. Let's start things out in right. 3 different layers of stands kind of hugging right up against the foul pole there. As you get your way towards left center field, you have a beautiful display of waterfalls and rocks. Of course, the current stadium that they play in Anaheim right now has that rock feature out in left. So I think a lot of people who recreate an Anaheim stadium use the rocks, and it looks fantastic. More rocks on the other side, clubhouse seating, restaurants, and custom walkways and ramps on top of that, hiding the little huts with the Paradise Dining restaurant. Brilliant idea. Scoreboards and signs built right into the light towers. Of course, you got to have the Anaheim A scoreboard. Right down the left field line, mostly stands, having 2 more decks on top again, of course. And then the top deck is broken off with that one curved building out here to face off the outside of the stadium, using the St. Louis Arch and the A to kind of decorate the outside of the building. There's those grass patches I was telling you about that have inspired me. Using the amusement park ride for the beams to hold up this circular concourse. Outstanding. Building doubling as a roof and as maybe luxury seating or the broadcast booth. But now, folks, it's time to look at that epic display in center field. The statue baseball game. The Garden of Dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Folks out behind the home run fence, jumping over retired numbers. And then you got the retired numbers, of course, with a custom-made infield and the bases, which are made out of the fence. And the guy's pitching, the dude hit, the guy's running, and then the guy's playing in the infield. Such a freaking great little feature in a stadium. I think everybody was blown away when they first showed that, and I couldn't wait for you guys to see that as well. Big speakers and scoreboards and clubhouse seating and very quirky home run dimensions. Very Sandman Dan, very creative as always with his builds. I think he's got a few, if not one, stadium to check out in that video I will be recording tomorrow. And yeah, Sandman Dan is the man. He should be called the Man Dan. San the Man Dan. There you go. I like that one. Either way, gorgeous park. Thank you, Sandman Dan, for. I gotta count them up. I'm catching up, where I'm getting towards the end of making this database of all the stadiums. You, Murph, Arch. I got to see which one of you has the top amount of stadiums shown here in Studio 44. But the task at hand right now is for the 13 judges in the Stadium of the Year committee. All 13 people volunteered to look at each group through 3 different rounds and decide who moves on until we eventually have a winner. Group 6 is the group they're judging right now, and that group is made up of Jason 43950 with Concourse Park, myself Peebs 212344 with Skyview Park, RC 4625 has Alpha Park version 3.5, and the one in the background right here is Sandman Dan's Ballpark in Anaheim. One stadium from each judge will get a 4. One will get a 3, one will get a 2, and one will get the 1. 4 obviously is the highest. Whoever has the most points after all the judges' votes are tallied up will move on to round number 2, where they will face up against the final group, or should I say the winner of the final group of the 7 entered in the Stadium of the Year contest, the 2024 Stadium of the Year contest reboot.